What is good, everyone? I'm going to be telling you how you can get to 10K per month in just a few weeks from now. This is something that I've done on numerous occasions. I recently just did it a couple months ago. I started a new business, and within just a couple weeks' time, I was already on the path to make 10K months. Within my first 2 months in business, I did 5K profit in just a week on that, like right at that second month mark. So yesterday I made $1,400 and it's on Wednesday. I've already made 3K profit for this week. So I know what I'm talking about, and this is something that anybody can do. It's actually not that difficult. There's nothing holding you back from doing exactly what I am doing. I am no different than you. And what that is it's going to be getting a sales job. The reason why sales jobs are the best thing that you can take on in terms of a career path, the list goes on and on, but to break it down a little bit. One, if you're someone new to entrepreneurship, you don't have any of the required skills to succeed. This is one of the things that I thought I had and I lacked, and this is why I failed so many businesses. I have tried so many things, and I just didn't have any of the required skill sets. I didn't even have the work ethic. By just simply getting a sales job, you're actually going to develop some of that work ethic and see what is required on just the sales role. Imagine now you add in marketing, management, leadership. The list goes on and on. It's, as a business owner myself, it is a lot of work. And this is not something that most people are prepared to take on. So if you start off in a sales role, not only are you going to be joining a company that is already making money and is having a successful product that sells, but you're also now going to be getting money coming in right away because you're just selling that successful product as long as you can actually sell it and you have the skill of sales, which you really don't need to be that good at to get started. Being that most companies provide training, they also give you all the scripts, the overcomes for objections. A lot of time they'll have support systems in place. So you just actually have to show up, show that you're hungry and wanting to do the work, and the company will work with you and help get you successful. And even if you fail that first experience, like I did, my first sales career, I fell flat on my face. I was an extremely shy kid, and it just was a bad company for me to get started off with. You're still gonna learn a ton, and it's gonna help you for your second one. If this is something you persist with, you will be successful. So anybody can get into sales. I don't care what position you are in now. Me, myself, I was the shyest and most introverted kid in high school. If you ask anyone I went to school with, they would say Sebastian, he was shy. Maybe he had his friends, whatever, and he hung out with them, but he couldn't talk to just like anybody. Like I didn't really talk to many kids outside of my circle, which was quite small. Now I can talk to anybody, I can easily make friends, and this all happened because I started to learn how to sell. So I realized that the most growth potential for me would be in learning sales, being that it is a social skill, and back then that's what I lacked, was the ability to quickly befriend people, socialize, and I've actually been able to turn that thing that I was lacking into my biggest asset that now makes me 10K plus months every single month. So if I can do it being that shy, introverted kid, so can you. And the action steps are very simple. One, get a sales job. Whatever it is that you're doing now, go ahead and quit that, unless it's something like seriously promising. But if you're just working some basic role, like when I was in high school, I was delivering pizza after school. If you're doing something like that and you're still doing that and you're not in school, quit that shit immediately. Go get a sales job. No matter what it is, even if it's not in the high ticket space, even if it's just an in-person sales role, you have to start somewhere and build yourself up. So sales is going to be essential just getting a sales job is going to be essential to learning how to sell. The next thing you can do is read books. There's 4 essential books that I have read that took me from being an average salesperson to amazing. And this is something that is transferable to anyone who just takes the time, applies themselves, really learns and digests the material that they read. And the books I would recommend are going to be The Psychology of Sales, The Little Red Book of Selling, Influence, and How to Win Friends and Influence People. Although it's not directly a sales book, it's going to help you a ton in really understanding sales as a whole. So those 4 books, also one more bonus is going to be The Charisma Myth. These 5 books are really going to teach you about people and social skills, being that sales is a social skill. And then The Psychology of Selling and The Little Red Book of Sales is very honed in on actual sales. So you need to have people skills as well as the ability to sell and understand how the sales process works. So read those books. One other thing that you can do to really advance yourself is going to be getting a sales mentorship. So between my first career that I failed and my second one where I started to have success, but it just wasn't the right fit for me long term, I actually took a mentorship. That mentorship is what actually allowed me to start having sales. If I didn't take that mentorship, I probably wouldn't have gotten to where I am now. It was 100% essential. I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to befriend people. And I was just listening into someone's calls and then them critiquing me on my calls. It was really not that crazy. It was just that plus the advice that I got, watching how they did things. It was quite basic and simple things, but I'm a quick learner. So I was able to pick up on those instantly and have my first successful sales career in my second one that I took on. Although I still wasn't the best, I still hadn't read those books yet. It got me a little bit further. And then just by taking on other careers, on my third one, I really had my first successful career making 10K plus a month. But this is something that you can bypass and get to that next level. Like I was saying, what took me from that first career completely failing to succeeding at least a little bit, but once again, it wasn't the right opportunity for me due to the fact that that second company had paid leads. So you had to pay $60 per phone call. It was way too much money to be spending. Like if you took 5 calls a day, that's $300 of outlay. If you didn't close enough deals that week, you're actually going into the negative. So that's why that wasn't a good fit for me. But taking a mentorship can take you from a complete beginner to someone who is actually really advanced. I have a very close friend of mine who he joined my company that I have now with no sales experience, just being a good people person. The reason why I knew he would be good in sales and that I could coach him up so easily, although English isn't even his first language, he was just one of those guys. When we went out to the club, he was talking to everybody. He was so social. He knew how to make other people feel good. And he just had a lot of those things that you learn from the charisma myth and how to win friends and influence people. And I knew that he was a hustler. He was a really hardworking dude. So I knew he would be able to succeed in a sales career if we just gave him some of the proper mentorship. And that's exactly what I did. My mentorship for him, being that he's my best friend, was free. And this allowed him to actually start getting successful, quit his job as a welder, and come on full time with me at my company now. So a mentorship will take you from being average or below average complete beginner to someone who's at least an intermediate or even advanced. And that's the power of a mentorship, like I explained between my first and second career. It's the same thing for you. And that's actually what I have now is I have a course and a mentorship program. So that is what I'm selling. You can actually join my company, learn how to sell using the courses, all that material, and then actually apply yourself, learn by doing, getting constant feedback. A lot of those things I explained earlier as to how I learned are things that we can do with you in order to bring you from being a beginner or someone who is average or maybe even intermediate to someone who is an advanced salesperson. So that is exactly what I'm offering. If this sounds like something you're interested in, I have the link down below to the website. You can book a call with me and we can talk about if this is the right fit for you. All right, well, I hope everyone watching this can get to 10K a month the same way that I did. Take on a sales career and you will get there. Have a great day, everyone. I appreciate you watching this video.